What is going on YouTube? It is FlopFish here, and welcome back to episode number 5 of the Downstarts GM mode. Sorry for the lack of frequency. I've been pretty busy over the past week or so, and finally I've been able to sit down and record some videos, which will be nice. I'm excited to do this, so let's get right into it. It is contract time, and so I took the liberties of kind of going through the painful part and deciding who I wanted to keep and whatnot ahead of time. So heading forward into next year, our lines are going to be pretty straightforward. Let's just go to all expiring contracts. And we're going to be getting rid of some players because I just don't think that we can fit them. So Dowling, again, I like him, don't get me wrong, but a 70 overall at 25, it's just not going to be good enough. It's unfortunate, but we're going to be okay, like, just to not sign him. We're going to get Roof Hint signed for a 3-year contract with about, like, 6.5, so pretty much like a standard DLC shenanigans there. Jordy Ben, I am torn on signing him because right now my defense is, we made the trade for Pouliot, so it's going to be Pouliot, Klingberg, probably Goligoski, Demers, and then we need a 6th defenseman and Pissick. And so, like, that means we're not going to be re-signing Chris Russell, but cap-wise we're a little bit tight, so it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens, and I do want to get Demers signed. I think it's a great deal for him. I think if we can get him for 5 years, so he'll be 33 at the end of that, for 4.3, I think that's a fairly good signing both ways. That works out to like 21.5. So you know what? The 4-year contract's actually just not bad at all. It's pretty fair value. And the extra year, nah, because we're going to want to get rid of him by then. So 4 years at 4.3, you know what? That's probably the best offer for us and for them. So he's going to be pretty happy there. And I do want to resign. I think I want to take Goligoski over Russell. Russell just wasn't as good as Goligoski. Again, when you break down their stats and stuff, like Goligoski put up a lot of points on the power play, which is nice. He's always been a good point producer. Russell is a bit more of a two-way guy, but I feel like he's going to be... Russell wanted like a cheaper contract. I feel like Goligoski's going to be, you know... we might sign him for 2 years at 4.7. I think that's a lot to pay for him. Maybe if we can get him at 4.5. So $9 million for 2 years. It's a lot to pay for Goligoski. But we're not really going to be able to find much better out in free agency. So I think it's just a good fit overall. So I think we'll offer him that contract as well. We're gonna get Hansen qualified as well. We're gonna get them to, like, you know, 3-year contracts and stuff for prospects. Actually, let's do 2 years, because that way I can see if they're no, let's do 3 years, because I mean, if they're developing, they're developing. So Makala is a guy that is doing really well, so we're gonna get him signed to a 3-year ELC thing again. We'll just get that in there. Nyberg, again, another guy, 67 overall at 19 is pretty good. So we'll get him signed for 3 years at what he wants. And Russell, probably not going to sign him, to be honest. It's unfortunate, but it's just not going to work out. We're going to get rid of Vance because as much as we want to keep him, we don't have the room for him in the lineup, which sucks, but you got to make some tough choices. All right, so now we're on to the left wingers. I'd love to sign Travis Moen, but the problem is that he wants a lot of money, and we already have a lot of depth, especially on the left side. We have Ben Sharp, Janmark Roussel, and McKenzie, so I feel like he's just kind of the odd man out there. Ranford, we're going to get him 1 year. I mean, he's probably worth, like, a little bit more than that, realistically. We'll get him on a 1-year contract for, like, 7.5. His NHL salary is not going to matter. He's not going to play in there anyways. So, you know, just kind of like, whatever. So Patrick Eaves is another guy who we do have a decision to make, because we don't really have the prospects to call up. Again, one of our better prospects is Richie, who we are going to definitely be signing. He's earned a 1-way contract, so I think a 2-year bridge, kind of what he wants, more or less, is pretty fair. So that's a good, we'll do that. Richie's probably going to be playing third line role, more or less. Peters is unfortunately not going to be with the team anymore. Again, there's some tough cuts coming with this team, but you got to do what you got to do. And That's kind of what things are shaking down to. All right, let's reverse this. There we go. This is, come on, one more time. There we go. So Nichushkin, again, we want Nichushkin on the team, obviously. 4 years, again, that's fairly unrealistic to sign him for 4 years at that. If we're signing him for 4 years at that, that's an absolute bargain. Maybe 3 years at 2.7, or 2 years at 2.6 is pretty fair. It's a bridge contract, so it's one of those you gotta play it to earn it. But yes, you've done pretty well so far. So we're gonna have that going for him, and that'll be just a little bit more realistic with the contracts, which is good. Stransky, we actually need minor league great wingers, so he's just gonna be a good fit there. 2 years, that's perfect. Not really gonna complain with that contract being offered to him. And yeah, so that is all of our expiring skaters except for Russell, Eves, Moen, Fiddler, and Sevier, and a couple goalies here. So we're gonna re-sign every goalie except for Legacy, because I think it's just the best choice for the team. Campbell, we're gonna use as trade bait later on because he's just not gonna be what we want. Husso, we're gonna get signed to a little bit of a longer deal. Yeah, we'll get him for 3 years in the minors. Get a little bit of a higher salary there, but that should be good. And Morin, he's got decent enough potential. We'll offer him an ELC, so we'll give him a little bit less. But yeah, that's pretty much how things are going to be breaking down for the team. So let's go ahead and let's move forward. Let's see what our contract counts at, and then we can advance a day. And let's just stop this because I don't want it to be like really far ahead. Demers accepted. Everyone's accepted so far, so that's good. Oh, we have a full roster. Okay. So we have too many goalies, I guess. Oh no, wrong button. All right. I hate that because you go to stop the sim again because is a little bit of a bug where you can fast forward a little bit too far, and that would not be fun. But so it looks like we have a full 50 contracts. No, we only have 46. So we're maxed out on goalies already. That's fine. 5 goalies is a lot. So we have some contract space left, which is good. I want to sign some of our top prospects, and I think that's gonna be our next target, is signing a couple of the top guys. So Russell, we can fit in under the cap. It's just I want to see Pouliot playing in that top role, and that means that Russell would be playing third pairing role. That means we'd be getting rid of Jordy Ben, which means lower chem with Jamie Ben. But what's Jordy Ben's wants? If he's fine playing in the minors, then I'm good with that. But he doesn't want to play in the minors, so it's interesting because we can call up Nemeth or Johns, who are both two-way guys who both fit that role better. Jordy Ben, we could play him with a Klingberg in the top pairing, but that's not the best use, and I'd rather have Pouliot and Klingberg as that top pairing. So it's just I know we're losing a lot of chem here, but overall, oh, he's not even best chem with Jamie. All right, then you're gone. See ya. Sorry, Jordy, you're gone. Moen, again, really happy that you're with the team, but it's just someone has to miss out, and I think Patrick Hughes was just too good down the stretch. So I think Patrick Hughes is going to be the one bottom 6 guy we do sign. 1 year contract at 1.7. 1.85 is pretty good there. So we'll get him signed to that, and then I think for the rest of things, Sevier, unfortunately, man, your time has come to be released. And same with you, Fiddler. You've been good, but it's just not good enough. So we're down to 43 contracts, which means we do have ELC space. Here's the thing with signing Russell. We can sign Russell and have a really good decor, and try to juggle things around a little bit. We can put him into more PK situations, so put him on all the PK situations because I think that better suits him, and have Goligoski on the offense. It'd leave us with about 5 million cap space, which is quite all right. So you know what? Let's try to bargain him down a little bit. See if he's willing to go with 4.3 for 2 years. Actually, even if we can make it like a 1-year contract for him. Because, like, if there is someone really good at free agency, though, I don't want to miss out on them. And I don't know if we're going to make any more trades because the team's pretty solid up front. I like the team because, I mean, like, our first line's going to be probably Ben Sagan, Hemsky. Second line's going to be Sharp, Sedin, Nichushkin. Or maybe we'll get Spooner up. We might get Spooner up there. And then, you know, juggle things throughout the rest of the lines and see how things go. But, yeah, because 2 years left on Russell, it's not going to give us. So let's look at our defense core here. This is kind of what I do when I'm signing contracts and stuff. Is I want to look forward to like, kind of the progression thing. And right here next year we're going to need a contract for Nemeth. We're going to need a contract for Pissick. We're going to need, you know, like Ulevi's going to need a contract. Lindell's going to need a contract. So we have a lot of guys who are RFAs, and I don't think we can keep Russell on more than a 1-year deal. So if we get him for 1 year at what he wants, and I think that's okay. It gives us a little bit of spending money in free agency, which is all right. Maybe 4.5 for a year. See if he bites at that. It's a bit of a tough contract request, but so that put us at 43 total contracts. So we can sign some of our top draft picks. We'll sign Ulevi, standard DLC, and all unsigned. So we'll sign him. Any goalies? No goalies. We're not going to sign Moran because that's just too much. I want to sign DeBrincat as well because he does have the high potential and he is younger, so that's a good fit. And also, we'll sign Nylander, DeBrincat, and Ulevi. Those will be our three ELCs. So there we go. ELCs are offered out. Having 3 guys on contracts is going to be pretty good. And I feel like they're 3 of our better draft picks, so that's always a good thing. We don't really need help in the minors. They're just going to kind of grow a little bit more if we do offer them contracts. Tulola might not be a bad guy to offer a contract either. Again, like, I wouldn't mind offering contracts to all of them, but we'll have to see how free agency goes. So I think getting 3 signed is a good start. And just like, hey, look, we're going to ink you guys. So we got them inked. Russell resigned, so that's really good and perfect. So I think that's really solid, and I'm liking the way the team's shaping out. So I don't think we really have anything else to offer for contracts here. So we're gonna sim to free agency, and yeah, so it's a bit of a quicker episode as far as GM goes. I'll probably have a second one up tomorrow, or maybe even later tonight. I'll record it like right away. But yeah, unsigned players, all we have left are, or all expiring players that we have left are Moen, and I like Moen, don't get me wrong, but he just doesn't fit in with the team. So it's gonna be tough to lose him, but I think overall it's the best option. And again, I think we signed all our goalies that we want. So we got Campbell, we got Husso, we got Kiviao, or however you pronounce his name. So I like our team's chances moving into next year. Again, I would have liked to sign Moran, but we do have too many goalies. So maybe if we get rid of him, we can actually sign Moran. It's just a minor thing. It's just a guy that I think we could, sign for a few years, see how he turns out, and then if he turns out good enough, then we'll be okay. So let's advance a day, and if we can still sign him, that's good. All right, so it was just that one little RFA thing. All right, let's sim to free agency now, because that is all she wrote. So we did pretty good. We retained most of our players. Let's see what our trade block looks like here. So Eakin and Stransky and DeBrincat, probably not who I'm gonna want on there. Let's go ahead and let's save this. But yeah, so far so good. I like the shape of the team. We have some good draft picks. Again, I'm going to need to see who's CHL eligible, and then that's going to be kind of a big deciding factor, is that who can play in the CHL and who can play in the AHL as far as like the roster goes, because again, it's pretty it's pretty important that you balance that out. So you want to make sure that you have some guys still growing, but you want them under contract. So wow, Eric Stahl's a free agent. Keith Yandel. Keith Yandel would be a great acquisition for the team, but not exactly who we want to bring in. So Kucherov is an RFA. Bodker, not really who we want to bring in. Weirkosh is a guy that I definitely would have brought in. I think he would have been a good fit. 4 years for Ehrhoff, that's not very good. So realistically, our organizational needs right now, we're pretty good up front. We could use a top line right winger, which Bodker is in this game, but I don't think it's going to be worth signing him. We have $5 million cap space, so we don't have a ton of cap space. I don't think there's anyone really worth signing. We'll check out if there's any good rookies. So Plotnikov is worth looking at a little bit. Valiev didn't get signed, which is kind of funny. He should be signed, but oh well. Anyone else that's really standing out to me here? 19 Kirkland is interesting. The team's interested in him though. Where would he kind of fit in our prospects? We're stacked on the left side. We need right wingers that are younger, so that's gonna be interesting. And I think outside of that, we're kind of okay. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. Scott Glennie didn't get signed. And I think that's all good. What about goalies? Any big name goalies? Probably Tokarski. Tokarski would have been fun, but nah. Outside of that, really, there's no one else worth going after, and he's actually the best goalie in the free agency. So I like where we're sitting with our team. I think trade wise, we do want to. I don't want Ikonen on the block. I don't want Stransky. I don't want DeBrincat on the block. Guys, I do want on the block are maybe we can throw Dickinson on there. Again, I kind of like him on the team, but he's got pretty high trade value. He is going to be a good prospect though, and moving forward, we could use him in a right wing spot. I don't know. I think we could just kind of see how the season goes out. We could put Russell up there, but we did just sign him, so I think we'll hold off for a little bit. Yeah, outside of that, really no one. Maybe a Hemsky, because if we can get rid of Hemsky, we can get rid of Hemsky. So it's probably going to be at the very bottom. Yeah, he's at the very bottom. How many years does he have left on his contract? He is literally in his final year, so the team might be willing to take that on. I don't really want to give up draft picks, because we do have a fairly good set of draft picks this year. We have a second, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and a seventh. I would want a couple more draft picks there, but I don't mind getting rid of Campbell either. And yeah, I think that's gonna kind of be it for this episode, because we're not gonna really make a splash in free agency. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna sim forward all the way to kind of the start of the season, and I will catch you guys there. As always, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, a rating is very much appreciated. Take it easy, and I'll catch you guys on the flop side.